This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Isabella Nieto. A Wisconsin mental health advocate is using his own story to break down stigma in the workplace. Cody Green is a mental health advocate, author, and content creator. He'll be in Wausau this weekend, signing copies of his book called Minds Over Meetings, a personal perspective on wellness in the workplace.
It's about mental health and mental illness in the workplace. I myself am diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I have struggled with mental health issues for most of my adult life.
Green says his book is aimed at helping those struggling with mental illness navigate the workplace and advocate for their needs.
I really break down how I learned to deal with stigma in the workplace, how I learned to talk to HR, management, how I learned to communicate about how I was struggling and what people around me could do to help.
He also says he learned how to understand his rights as a worker, and he wants employers to understand how a lack of accommodations can hurt employees dealing with mental illness.
So I took all of these things and tried to incorporate it into basically a guide for not only people who struggle with mental health or mental illness, but for caregivers, for people in HR who want to be more accommodating, for management, anyone that cares about how we view mental health in the workplace.
Green has one key message for those struggling with mental illness. You're not alone.
When I started hearing about other people who were struggling, it gave me a sense of community. It helped me feel like I wasn't alone in this journey. And that's all I want other people to feel when they read my book or when they hear my stories.
Green will be signing books at 1 p.m. on Saturday at the NAMI Northwoods Healthy Minds Art Show at Art on Grand. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is seeking public input on its North Central Forest Draft Regional Master Plan and environmental analysis. According to a press release, the North Central Forest ecological landscape covers around 95,000 square miles, including portions of Clark, Langlade, Lincoln, and Taylor counties. The master plan is meant to guide resource management and recreation opportunities in the region. The DNR is also seeking public input on an option to establish a project boundary for a new property at the Grandfather Falls Inwith Wisconsin River, which would potentially be known as the Grandfather Falls State Ice Age Trail Area. Public comments on the draft plan will be accepted until December 7th. If you live in ag country, you're probably aware of some rough roads. Now is your chance to call attention to them. Melissa Kay explains.
It's harvest season in Wisconsin, and that means more agricultural traffic on the roads. Along with drivers needing to be aware of these slow-moving vehicles, you can help in other ways. If you notice roads that are in need of repair because of agricultural traffic, you can reach out to your local government officials to remind them that now is the time to apply for funding through the State Agriculture Roads Improvement Program, or ARIP. The application period opened on Monday, October 6th, and the deadline for submissions is 5 p.m. on December 15th. There's $150 million in grant funds included in this ARIP program in the 2025-27 state budget.
3 Wausau residents have applied to fill the vacant District 5 seat on the City Council. The seat was left open following the death of Alder Gary Gisselman, who represented District 5 on the City Council and Marathon County Board. City Clerk Caitlin Bernardi told the Wausau Pilot and Review she received 3 applications, which included former Alder James Wadinsky and current Marathon County Board member Aaron Greiner. Wadinsky previously represented District 5 from 2020 to 2022. Greiner was appointed to serve out the rest of Gisselman's County Board term last month. The applicants will introduce themselves at next week's City Council meeting. Grant Elementary School is returning to the market after a pending sale for the property fell through. The school, located at 500 North 4th Avenue in Wausau, was closed to align with the district's consolidation plans earlier this year. Hawthorne Hills and Hewitt, Texas elementaries were also closed and sold this year. The Wausau School District continues to work with Tim Wimmer, a local broker, on the sale of the property, according to the district website. The building is listed for $550,000. The State Department of Transportation is hosting a second public involvement meeting about a project updating State Highway 52, also known as East Wausau Avenue. The roadway is showing signs of severe deterioration in the form of cracking in the asphalt and concrete pavement. DOT has also identified other needs throughout the project area, including outdated traffic signal equipment at the North 6th Street intersection, deteriorated curb and gutter and drainage inlets, and a lack of continuous standard street lighting. The meeting is scheduled for Monday at 5:45 p.m. at the Horace Mann Middle School cafeteria. I'm Isabella Nieto for WXCO News.
The Crew lose again to the Cubs. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports, baseball, the NLDS. There will be a Game 5 tomorrow night in Milwaukee. The Brewers shut out by the Cubs, 6-0 at Wrigley Field. Freddie Peralta surrendered a 3-run home run in the bottom of the first to Chicago's Ian Happ. Pat Murphy.
The first inning is always the toughest for a pitcher, especially in environments like this and big games. The first inning can always be the struggle, and hadn't shown him the heater yet and got too much in the middle of the plate.
First pitch at 7:08 tomorrow night at AmFam Field. College football, the Badgers host the Hawkeyes tomorrow night in Madison. Kickoff 6 p.m. Wisconsin lost 42-10 last year at Iowa.
The focus is obviously what happened last year and what it is that we need to do to change all that happened last year. It'll be a physical, tough, hard-nosed game. Nothing different than what you would expect from an Iowa-Wisconsin football game. We got to make sure that Saturday night we're ready to roll.
That's Badgers head coach Luke Fickell. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com.